Welcome to day 70, Quantum's Liberty DeStress series. There you go, buddies. There's your water. And today on the phone with us, we have Natalie, who is 17 years old, and she's from Michigan. Natalie was talking with us today about some of the experiences that she's having with extreme anxiety about climate. So we were discussing the polar bears, right, sweetheart? So the situation for the polar bears is very, very severe. It's really scary, and the things that we were talking about was a concept called metabolic innovability, and so in our studies and in school, in biology and in psychology, you're learning about that the climate change impact is significant, and that there are ways that we can reduce and help to manage our carbon footprints so that we attain and maintain viability here. So on Earth. So one of the things, keep on tapping on your karate chop point. A study by, let's see, it was by, oh, that wasn't the right one. Yeah, Price, Reed, and Paulson. And so what they did was they did this study, and they altered one genome in a bacteria, and they did this several hundred times. And they found that 90% of those bacteria did have, they adapted, and they were able to have viability, and not only just viability, but very successful, so they could replicate and metabolize and produce metabolites too that other organisms could use too. So there was a successful viability. So this occurs in nature naturally, and so what we need to do for us is we need to maintain inside of ourselves, because when we don't have emotions inside of ourselves that support us to be able to think clearly, then we won't be able to create that next step that will enhance our viability here on this planet. In particular, this is Wagner's book, and it says that the reason for the importance of fuel innovations is simple. The world changes all the time, keep on tapping, and no matter how successful a metabolism is today, it will almost certainly become unsuccessful at some point in the future, like an economy that depends on exhaustible fossil fuels. Chemical environments always change as consumed nutrients ebb and new foods flow. Organisms that depend on a single specific combination, this is why we have to be innovative, of nutrients are evolutionary dead ends, and ongoing innovation is needed to survive. So what we have now, we have this breakthrough technology in tapping, right? And so what this does is that even though there are these big forces like climate change, right? They seem so big. We also have incredible power within us. And what we need to do is we need to tap on anything that doesn't allow us to be in contact with that feeling inside of us that is filled with that power, the ability to change and the ability to have choice, and not just to react, but to respond to climate change, right? So what we want to do is we want to know our power. And so we're going to tap on anything inside of us, right, that says that we are so... what we want to do is we want to feel anything inside of us that says that, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not big enough, or I'm not powerful enough. Keep on tapping to combat or to help assist these huge things that are going on in climate, right? It looks really, really, really big, but you know what? We actually are, as a result of us, we are reversing the Gulf Stream, right? It's slowing down, just like it did right prior to the ice ages. So there's not another human species there, like we had Neanderthals, and then we had the Homo sapiens and Homo erectus, and the other group, you know, that hybridized, and then ended up that we, the Homo sapiens, became the dominant group. We still have some Neanderthal genetics inside of us, and the people actually who are getting really sick from COVID, they have more of that. They're finding that's interesting research from like 60,000 years ago that coronavirus was in our DNA and then Neanderthals. But anyway, that's an offshoot. That's just some interesting reading. But so what we want to do is, inside of us, we have the power to come up with these great ideas to reverse things. Like, we started the change in the Gulf Stream, and we can bring it back again. We just need to offset the metabolites, right? Just like in this study with Price and Reed and Paulson, they said that they just, you know, altered one gene. If we altered one thing, then we could create a shift in our metabolic innovative viability. So we want to do that by having that come from a feeling inside of us that says, yes, I do have power. I'm not a victim here, right? And that these things, we want to know that, like, you have victim consciousness that says, wow, like these floods and these fires and these hurricanes, massive hurricanes, one on top of the next, where they don't even have enough letters in the alphabet to name them all. So we want to be able to say in ourselves, we have the power within ourselves to slow down and change that energetic response, right? Because tapping, what it does is it moves the energy of the response. So when you have, you're reading about your polar bears, and you are getting very, very scared because you're seeing, wow, what the heck are we going to be able to do for these guys? But what we want to do is we want to move that energy of the response, and by tapping on these 5,000-year-old acupuncture, acupressure, and points, what we're doing is we are actually moving the energy of the response by slowing down the neurons that are going to your amygdala. And then when that slows down, the cortisol levels drop. In 1 week of doing your tapping meditation, your cortisol levels will drop 37%. And get this, if you do this for 1 hour with a group of people, do your tapping for 1 hour with a group of people, you will lower your 37% cortisol level in an hour instead of a week. But I know a lot of people can't get together at the same time and do that kind of tapping, but that just shows you what kind of a shift in the quantum field that we are making, and that vibration then also carries out into the world, right? It vibrates from us, this amount of love and a relaxed, powerful energy from within. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap so that we can move the energy of the response, and then we can have a different experience by having choice. So first of all, we'll say, even though, let's repeat after me, even though there's all this crazy stuff going on in the world today, these huge climactic shifts, the polar bears are in danger. The Gulf Stream is shifting. Listen to what I'm saying. This should not be happening. And even though I feel like it should not be happening, I accept myself and I love myself exactly as I am. Even though this crazy stuff is going on in the world, all this chaos with the climate, these floods and these fires, this is just crazy. It really should not be happening. No way. Even though it is, and it should not be happening, and I feel that way, I love myself and accept myself. Every feeling inside, exactly as I am. Even though I feel like this should not be happening, humanity and the polar bears should not be going through this. What the heck is all this chaos? I love myself with these feelings inside, and I accept myself with them exactly as I am. This energy inside of me, this energy of it should not be happening. This is crazy stuff. It's absolute chaos. It really can't be happening. I'm not saying that I can have any of this. I can't have any of these emotions inside me. I have no control over any of this. Wait a minute. If I'm in chaos inside of me, then I'm just going to react. And is that going to be helpful? How can I be a little innovative? Metabolic innovability is possible. Not only possible, but 90% effective. In hundreds of cases where one enzyme was changed, and so if metabolically nature is innovative, hey, I can be innovative too. I acknowledge inside of me there's these feelings like fear and out of control. It's chaos. I have no choice. Wait a minute. I do have choice. When I do my tapping, I find I do have choice. I can be innovative in ways we hadn't thought of before. Just like in Price's and Reed's and Paulston's study of the innovation of a simple molecule which occurs in nature to lean towards viability. I'm going to do that. I'm going to lower my cortisol levels. I'm going to boost my dopamine levels so that I resonate with that go-get-'em hormone and boost my response mechanism, not my reactive. I have a choice. I have power. I can move this energy so I respond with choice. And so we have a different experience because then we have choice. And each and every one of us does have a choice. This is called victim consciousness. When I am conscious of the feeling inside of me, I can tap on it. I can tap on that fear. I can tap on that out of control. I can get centered. And here's a good one for getting centered, under the eye and the chin. And sometimes I do it like this. So that way you get both eyes and the chin point at the same time, right? And that gets right into that central nervous system, which holds all your memories, right? And it gets you nice and centered. And now we're going to start off by saying, I am. Yes, I am. I am talking with radiant health. I am walking with radiant health. I am happy in radiant health. I am imbuing beauty. I am achieving climate success. I am helping polar bears. I am improving performance of humanity in assisting with any climate change objectives we have. And I love your idea, Natalie, to have all cars in the United States switched over completely to electric solar by 2003. That ought to help slow down that Gulf Stream. You ought to tell Gretchen Whitmer there about that idea. You guys have a lot of car plants there. You could just get the engineers right on to work right away and start that. I love that idea. Beautiful idea, Natalie. So all those engineers right away at work, switching over from fossil fuel, right, to electric and solar. I know you said also that you'll have to build those electric power stations, right, all over town too. That's fine, that can be done. So now we listen to what you're saying. Repeat after me. I am powerful. I am a force of nature. I am loved. I am lovable. I am loving. I am feeling divine bliss. I am radiant health. I am radiant health in mind, body, and spirit. And I am powerful. Yes, I am. All right, Natalie, write your letters. Get to it. That was a great idea. And thank you for sharing your love of the polar bears. See you soon.